South Africa witnessing its worst ever violence in years, leaving more than 70 people dead. Shockingly, the rioters here are now attacking businesses owned by Indians and Indian origin South Africans. Nadia Motala brings us this ground report from Isipingo area of Durban.
Violence and large-scale vandalism. And caught in this crossfire are Indians and people of Indian origin. Eerie images show the extent of damage in multiple cities in South Africa. Over 70 people have been killed in the worst violence that the country has seen in years. People were killed mostly in stampedes as thousands ravaged through retail outlets, malls and even radio stations. The unrest was triggered by the jailing of the former South African President Jacob Zuma, who was handed a 15-month jail term for snubbing a corruption investigation, which resulted in his supporters running riot. Among the worst affected areas are Durban, Pietermaritzburg and Johannesburg, all of which have a sizable population of Indian expats.
We've had looting at our main shopping centres.
Right.
Industry around here have been looted. Paint factories have been looted. Guys that make concrete products. Basically, any industry that's around here has been looted.
Businesses owned by Indians and Indian origin South Africans are being targeted by these looters.
We feel as if we are now being targeted and we are now victims at the same time.
Correct.
So, you know, as much as we want to say that we want to count the losses, but it's not just financial, it's also emotional, it's a longevity as well that's associated with it, because, you know, we're trying to give back to our community, we're trying to render a service. We're not just selling products, but we're rendering a specific professional service.
The looting has also resulted in a massive food shortage.
We're seeing a huge struggle for food, and there's a massive shortage of food at the moment. We're going to be going into one of the local shopping centers here. I've got Spar. I'm going to make my way into the center right now to see exactly what has happened here. If we can go through, as you can see, that this is absolutely damaged and destroyed. So the local community of Lotus Park have no way of getting any food with the shortage that is going on right now.
Not only Indians are affected, we found that a lot of blacks that were there, that informal little units over there, they are affected.
They've also lost their livelihoods.
Finished.
So this has impacted the entire community of Isipingo.
Concerned over the safety of Indian expats, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar dialed his South African counterpart on Wednesday, who assured him that the government of South Africa is doing its utmost to restore normalcy.
I want to emphasize.
In a televised address to the nation last week, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed concerns over the violence being ethnically based. The South African government has deployed over 1,200 troops in a bid to contain the violence.
So we understand that communities have come together to stand against criminals. And this is a first-hand what we're seeing here in the community.
With Nadia Motala in South Africa, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me quickly cut across to our reporter joining us on ground, Nadia Motala, right there from Durban, South Africa. Nadia, do take us through. We've seen the reports that you've shown us, very disturbing visuals, violence that's not seen for a while now. In decades, we're looking at one of the worst crises. What more do we know in terms of attacks being targeted directly at Indians and Indian-owned businesses, apart from the rest of it?
Good afternoon, India Today. So I was on the ground today, and I can say that, yes, a lot of the attacks are on Indian stores and Indian store owners, but I can also say that it's more about looting. So it doesn't really matter whether the store is Indian owned or not. They're just targeting any store that they can. They're looting, they're taking food, which has put communities in massive shortage, not to mention the lives that have been lost. You know, the number that you said was 70, but it's actually now escalated to 180 lives that have been lost in total.
180 lives is a huge number. How many of them have been arrested so far, Nadia? If you can take us through the kind of security arrangement as we see there. We understand that the military is on ground, but are they able to contain this kind of brutal criminality that we see unfolding?
Unfortunately, when all of the looting was taking place, the South African police services were nowhere to be seen, or rather were stretched rather thinly, trying to get to different areas in Durban, as we've been told by our current president that the attacks were quite orchestrated. So they had planned all of this, and it was done quite professionally, I would say. So the South African police service was stretched. We have now had the SANDF come on board, and they are now on the streets protecting the people. But we can see that communities have come together more than anything else to protect each other and to protect what belongs to them and the infrastructure that belongs to them.
Nadia, we're actually worried for you as well. You're out there on the streets. What does the violence really look like? Are they attacking people right in front of them? Are they using weapons? What kind of attacks are they carrying out? And how is the security agencies currently protecting the locals or the residents, women, children?
So a few days back, I would say around 2 days back, I would say it was really dangerous for us to go into any area. Our areas were cordoned off. We were asked to stay in our areas because we did not know, with all the unrest that was going on, what was going to be the condition. It has right now calmed down quite a lot, with authorities finally taking the law, which was supposed to have happened quite some time back. So we can say that now it's calmed down and it is safe for us to go out. I was, however, in quite a volatile area today, and in Isipingo, and I can say that tensions were high. We had to get out of the area almost immediately. When they saw that we were in the area, and obviously we were Indians and we were in the area trying to get some interviews with the people, they didn't take too kindly to that.
Right. A quick word on when this would likely end. What's the current government right now doing to stop this?
We're hoping that that they can come to a solution in the next week or two. We've had Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, come to chat to us yesterday and assure us that he was going to be sending out 25,000 troops on the road to take care of the civilians that have taken, unfortunately, the law into their own hands, because law authorities did nothing for them while their stores were looted and their buildings were being burnt down. There was a massive loss of life, which is basically the worst of all of the situation.
Absolutely.
While infrastructure was damaged to such an extent, it may take years and years to build back. So the economy is going to suffer quite greatly.
Nadia, thank you very much for joining us, and like to tell you here, please be safe.